What's up, fellow Game Lords? So let's jump back into Marvel Future Revolution. We are exactly, probably at this point, a day away from the live stream for Marvel Future Revolution, which I'm extremely excited about. Make sure that you are around. It looks like it's going to take place from 5 to 6 p.m. on the west coast of the United States, and that would probably really be about, like, I think it was at 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock on the East Coast. So you definitely want to tune in, because I definitely think a lot of people are going to want to know. I'm probably going to do a live stream on channel, and I'm going to figure out some things, maybe even do a giveaway. We'll see. What do you guys think in the comment section below? Let me know. But we got that first look at a more fleshed out Dormammu, and the costume definitely looks reminiscent of his classic look inside the comics. Definitely some more modern appeal to it. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this character, the character model in game. There's definitely a lot of stuff that we got to look forward to inside there, so I don't know what they're gonna release, but what I wanted to do this video about is because I wanted to talk about what is some of the stuff that you should be doing as the game's release schedule starts ramping up with new content and things like that. I'm going to use Star-Lord to highlight one of the most the biggest complaints, things that you need to be doing in the game. So let's log into Star-Lord right here, and I'm going to use him to explain why you need to be leveling up multiple characters and playing multiple characters. Have the one character that you are highly invested in as your main, and that should be the one that you kind of rush to level 100. But then your other characters in the game, your alts and stuff like that, you want to be getting as far as possible to 0 to 100 and leveling them up evenly across the board. So let's talk about some of the things that you want to be doing on a consistent basis, and that's leveling up your squad rank, right? So right now you can see that I'm at 150 squad rank. I'm basically getting 1175 attack, 1259 defense, and about 11,839 HP from my squad rank alone. Right now, if you were to go and look at some of my other things like titles, you can see I'm getting 1620 attack, 1620 defense, and 12,153 HP. I haven't unlocked many of the Star-Lord titles yet, but I'm well on my way to completing those titles. So why is that important? Okay, so let's take a look real quick. I'm gonna go inside here, and for shits and giggles, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unequip this stuff. I think it's important to show you the impact that having a higher squad rank will have on a character. So we're gonna unequip all of this uniform stuff. So you can see with just all of my uniform stuff unequipped, obviously I have some skills inside here that are going to be leveled up a little bit. Or did I? Nope. I didn't even level up any skills. Okay, perfect. I don't have any Omega cards equipped. I don't have any battle badges or costumes equipped on me at all. So, and I don't have any cores equipped at all either. So in terms of leveling up stuff, there's no enhanced potential that's done, no specialization that's done, and you can look and see that I'm innately getting a 95,744, almost a 96,000 power boost in terms of the game alone, just from that. 95,000. I could literally play this character. I'm not kidding you, because I've done it for other characters. I could probably play this character through leveling him up, and just alone with him having, get to probably from anywhere from 0 to 40 or 50 levels without having to touch anything else in my inventory to bring over and help augment his power in any way, shape, or form. That is one of the things that you're going to want to note and you're going to have to do. The reason why squad rank is such a divisive thing, I think, inside the Marvel Future Revolution community, is because it forces everybody to play all of the other characters. And for some people that can be annoying, because it forces me to play through the complete story. Like, I have to play through the entirety of the story campaign, and some people don't like doing that. But I think the reason why I'm not for that conversation, on that side of the conversation, is because people have to understand there's a gameplay loop that has to be played. If you join in any RPG, any at all, right, you typically usually have a way of leveling up. Like if I jumped into Destiny 2 right now, right, I could go level up by playing PvP and PvP alone and get some points and stuff like that, right? But in order to access certain things inside the game, I still have to play through the story. I still have to play through all of those story events in order to level up my character and unlock certain things. The same way that if I played Black Desert Online, both games that I play, guys, I have to level up that character through the story and play that game. If I jumped inside Marvel's Avengers, I have to jump inside that game with a new character and level them up through the story. Luckily for a game like Marvel's Avengers, I think they did it kind of the best way possible, and that game's getting beat over the head inside the media because they basically said, I'm going to introduce a new character. I'm not going to force you to play through the entirety of the story over again, but I'm going to make their own insulated story that you can level up through, and it's going to add to the story overall throughout the game. But what's happening with that? You see that all the work that's going into there is being overlooked. They're basically, people are trashing that shit, and they're like, yo, this game over here is better than this game. Like, they're already making comparisons to Guardians of the Galaxy without that game actually even being fully released yet for you to see, and saying it's a better game than Marvel's Avengers. You don't even know what the fuck's coming in that game. It's not the same game, and even in that sense. So how are you comparing the two? So I think that people have to take the good with the bad in certain situations, and I think this is one of the goods, is that you do have access to another free character that they're not charging you for, right? And that you do have the ability to increase that character's level without actually having to do anything, and it will increase your main character's level because it's going to boost those characters up. So think about that, right? So the other thing that I think that you want to be focused on as well in terms of leveling up characters, especially if you plan on, jumping in on Ilyana the Rasputin and Magic's character, is you want to start looking at your Omega cards, right? Because your Omega cards are going to come in some flares, right? Where it's basically, once you get a card to 4-star, you're kind of fucked because that card is locked to a specific character. So you basically want to make sure that, you know what, hey, I'm pulling back from leveling up cards, especially rare cards, once they hit the 3-star brand, right? Because I want to start trying to make sure that I have cards that I can hit 4-star with, so that way I can equip those to another character. Especially if you're talking about maining it. If you're not maining it, then never mind, you don't even need to worry about it. Just switch the cards as you have fit. All right. So another thing is crystals. I am almost 100% positive that the game is going to operate the same way Black Desert Online does. Like, once the new character comes out, you're going to need to have another slot to expand your team and to equip her. And that's probably going to cost you 400 crystals. So if you don't have 400 crystals, you're going to be faced with having to delete a character and delete everything that you did with that character in order to put her on your team. So make sure you have 400 crystals saved up or stored up. Or this is the point where I go into saying, like, once a character hits level 10, you know what, those purchases for $399, where you're getting the 345 crystals, 245, 345, whatever it is, they're kind of worth it. Those crystals can go to, that later on down the pool. So think about that. Yeah, so the main thing overall, though, that you can see is that you want to be leveling up these damn other characters, because they're going to give you the most benefit to playing any new characters. They're going to help you get through content quicker because, it's going to be more damage output that you can do. So think about that. The other thing that you might want to start considering inside here is your battle badges and stuff like that, and which battle badge you have on hand. I'm starting to run out of inventory here, if you can see, and I'm going to point out something to you guys. Once you start actually leveling up a character to a certain degree, there's not a big point to have battle badges up to a certain point. To be honest with you, battle badges that are probably about level 40 and below, yeah, those things might end up being more useful for, like, convergence box or dismantling for resources, because the need to equip them It's so far less. Like, you know, if you have 7 of 8 characters already leveled up, or you have 8 characters and it's giving you 100,000 power boost, and you're jumping in the game and the game looks at the first couple of levels and it's not there, then guess what? I don't really need to be worried about that. You know, those battle badges, because they're not going to affect my character's play but so much. So start looking at your inventory for battle badges. This is important as well for new content that's coming out, because remember, we are going to get a new zone, and a new zone is definitely going to mean new battle badges, is definitely going to mean new comic cards. So I, like, for instance, if I go inside any of my activity logs over here, you notice these zones are here. Well, each of these zones have their own specific little things inside of them that are unique to them. You know, comic cards, you know, the collectibles are what the collectibles are. We're going to have to probably collect more per area, you know, like whatever it is inside your collections, they're going to be there. Battle badges, you know, comic cards, those things are going to be there. So, you know, activities. So you definitely want to make sure that you're leveling up your main character in order to meet those needs. So take a look at those things, because they're going to probably be highly important in terms of what's coming up. You know, I just can't imagine for the life of me that we're not getting new costumes for a whole new zone, that we're not getting new battle badges for a whole new zone, that we're not getting, you know, comic cards for a whole new zone. So you might want to start taking a look at those. What that does mean, you know, for I think most of the free-to-play community, that means that you're perfectly fine in terms of, you know, not worrying about purchasing any new costumes inside the stores, because there's really not a reason for you to purchase costumes. I already spoken against these costumes ad nauseum, you know, so I don't want to continue to belabor that point, but they're the worst investment in the game in terms of, you know, dollars spent. You're not getting very much back, and you know, the journey just is, it's the one area they need to fix the most, in my opinion. So get that stuff ready, guys. Jump back in with me later on as we continue on with our Star-Lord level up. He is my absolutely last character class that I need to get to 100. I'm uber excited about doing that. I'm gonna probably do it so passively because the story is a little bit rough, but don't worry, I got some content coming for you guys. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about things that I've prepared to do, you know, you can actually take a look at. I've showed some of my videos where you can see that I've stopped now accumulating and opening up Omega cards and costume boxes and stuff like that, because I just absolutely don't have a reason to. And to be perfectly 100% honest with you, I probably won't even open these up until a character gets released that I'm really excited about. Thor, Black Bolt, Nova, something like that, to, you know, make me actually open these boxes up. Which brings up another point that I did forget to mention as well, guys. So I know that the level up path that a lot of people have been saying is to skip over all the green content in order to, you know, the side quest missions, in order to get to the Midgardia areas quicker and get to those Midgardia areas quicker, so that way you can then do the side missions there. But remember that there are rewards inside those earlier side quest missions, especially guys, these your PIM particles, your Fury classified data, your Stark's blueprints. These items are more abundant in those side missions, and you'll notice it as you're playing inside some of the other areas. So you definitely want to probably go back at, if you have done this, don't forget to go back and get some of those, because I'll show you guys. Like, if you look at my squad rank inside here, you'll notice that my squad rank is at 150. But my rank inside each of the individual areas, it isn't. You know, I'm sitting at 137, 138, and 147. So I got to work that out to get it up higher. So keep that in mind, guys. It's just something that, you know, you need to take into consideration, that you should probably go back with those other characters and do those. Yeah, there's also 3 missions at the end of every character, and I'm worried that they're going to probably do something to it, because it's a really good source to get 5-star core boxes. Basically, at the end of the Maestro fight, at the end of the game, you basically get the ability to go and do the extreme raid and the ultimate raid on every character, and those almost they guarantee you 5-star cores. They seem to consistently be red cores, which isn't a bad thing, but it's something that you might want to consider going back and taking a look at and doing. We haven't seen anything in the patch notes, or well, the information that they've given so far to say they're going to remove those, but it is something that I'm worried about. So make sure that you're going back and doing those as well. All right, guys, now I'm going to sign off, get into this Star-Lord play, and I'll start dropping some more content for you guys there. Until next time, peace.